I'm nervous. So here's up, you guys, it's Joey. Today I'm going to make a video for you guys that I never thought I was gonna make, and it's like weird because I've been on YouTube for literally like almost 10 years, I feel like, or over 10 years. But it's weird because I like dealt with this for a really long time. But I always, like, so many people told me to make a video about this. I was like, no, like, my viewers won't care. Like, why would they want to hear this story? Like, none of them could relate to this probably. But it was weird. The other day I was watching this girl's videos, and her video was about how her husband came out as trans. I know this is like weird, it has nothing to do with the video title, but I'll get to it, don't worry. But she made a video about how her husband came out as trans, and then I like watched all the videos on her channel just because I was like interested in her. She was like interesting to me. And she had a video titled My Battle with Seizures, and I used to have seizures, and I like related to her video, and I was just like, why haven't I made a video about this? Like, I feel like it's interesting. My followers probably like never expected this from me. And like, I don't know, like I feel like all the videos that I made last year, like traveling and like all my trips and like just being crazy with Ben, like you'll definitely see that still on this channel. But I was like, I want to do something that could like help someone who was like dealing with seizures, because when I was dealing with this, I didn't have anybody to talk to. I really like didn't even understand it. There was no YouTube, I don't think, for like the most part of when I had it or when I was dealing with it. And I don't know, I just feel like all seizures like are different. Like there's so many different reasons like why people could have seizures, and I don't know, I just thought, I don't know, I feel like it'd be cool because I related to her story. So yeah, I thought like, yeah, it'd be cool if I could share my story with anyone who's watching. That's why the title of this video is what it is, because maybe someone can like search seizures and find this and it can help them in some way. So yeah, if you guys don't want to watch this, just turn it off. Because it was honestly like the scariest time of my life, and it's not clickbait. I'm not doing this for like attention or views or any of that. And I don't want you guys to feel bad for me, so don't. But yeah, if you want, stick around, you can watch this. I feel like I really don't like share that much stuff about like me on my channel. I kind of just like show how crazy my life can be sometimes, and this is something like real that I dealt with. So, I don't know, here we go. I'm so nervous, I don't know why. I just always hated talking about this, it's weird. But, so, basically, like, my first time ever, like, experiencing, like, kind of a seizure, I don't really know what it was weird. I was getting ready for school, I was in first grade, so how old are you in first grade? I'm gonna Google that right now, so I can just, like, tell you how old I was when I had my first one. 6 or 7 years old. So 6 or 7, I was getting ready for school, and the way my dad tells the story, and cause like I remember this, but like my dad told me, he was like, you were always like a pain in the ass to get to like go to school. Like you just never wanted to go. You would always give me a hard time. You'd always make up things saying you were sick when I didn't want to go to school. So basically like what happened was I was telling my dad like my leg was like hurting me so bad, and I was like, I can't walk, like, and it really was. And I was just like, I like can't walk, I can't get up, like I just don't want to go to school today. Can I stay home? And he was like, no, you're going. So he like leaves the kitchen, and I'm like holding onto the door of the refrigerator, because like I don't know, I just felt like really unstable and like weird, and like I don't know, I was young, so like I don't like fully remember, but I remember like what happened. Like I don't remember like how I felt, I just remember my leg really hurt, and I remember I was like kind of out of it, and I was holding on to this refrigerator door because I just like felt like unsteady, and then like the next thing I knew, I like fell on the floor. And like I was just like shaking, and I was like clenching and like holding onto like the refrigerator door, and like it all like was like starting like in my leg, and then it like went up like my whole body, and then like I kind of like got out of it. Like it was like 30 seconds or like a minute, like it was really short. And my dad like kind of like caught the end of it, and he's like, what was going on there? And I was just like, I don't know, like I just like couldn't control myself, like I don't know what happened. And he was just like, okay, like get in the car, like I don't know what he thought, but he like got me to go to school. So later, like at school, I guess he like called the nurse or like called someone and like told them what happened, because the nurse came up to me later at school in first grade, like at recess or something, and she was like, hey, like I'm just checking up, like I heard something like happened this morning, and I just like ignored it, and like was just like, because I didn't know, like it was my first seizure, I guess, I don't really know, but that was like the first time like that kind of thing ever happened, where like I just didn't have control of my body. And I was just like, no, like I'm fine, everything's all good. And then like I just kind of like went off and like played with my friends and like called it a day. Fuck, my battery's dying. Hold on, I'll be back. Okay, is it focused? I think it's focused. It better be focused. This is an important video. Okay, yeah, so I'm back. I didn't really think anything of it, and I don't know, like, I was like fine for like a while. So basically after like my mini seizure or whatever, I would like, it like most of my seizures always happen at night. So like it literally like 2 or 3 in the morning, I'd just wake up in the middle of the night and I would just like scream because like I knew what was about to happen next. And like I just, like I'd literally just wake up and I would just feel like my right leg like tingling and it would like hurt really bad, and I couldn't like get up or like it was really hard for me to like move or like get up. And then like I'd scream, my parents would like run into my room, and like by that time I'd already be like having like really bad seizures, and then like I'd black out, pass out, and then like the next thing I knew I'd wake up, my parents would like be there, and like sometimes I would just like go right into another seizure like right after that, and then like go into another one after that, and then finally like they would thankfully stop. Like I don't think I had more than like 3 in a row. So when those hits would happen at like 2 in the morning when I'd have a seizure and I'd wake up, I would not want to go back to bed because I would just associate like sleeping with like having a seizure, because it would, like I would always wake up from my sleep. And it wasn't like every night, it was like some nights, not always. So like the nights that I would have a seizure, I literally would just stay up all night and not go back to bed, which is the worst thing you could do if you have epilepsy, because you don't, like, not sleeping, not getting sleep in your brain is the worst thing you can do. Like it triggers seizures, being sleep deprived. So I would just like stay up all night and like not sleep and watch TV and just try to get my mind off it, and then the sun would come up and then I'd be exhausted and literally just like pass out. And like I don't know, it was weird, it was only like nighttime, like that was the majority of my seizures, so I just felt like comfortable sleeping during the day. But then I would miss school because I didn't sleep all night and I couldn't like function the next day. So like I missed a lot of school because of my epilepsy, and like I don't know, that was like another thing I want to talk about, I guess, is I like missed out on like a lot of like school trips and like friendships and stuff. Like my friends would always like ask if I wanted to like sleep over. I'd always like say no, and then my mom, it was weird, I called my mom and I told her I was gonna make this video, and she was saying like she would like call and say like to like the parents, like if he does sleep over, which I never had ever, like I never slept over because I was too scared. My mom would call and say like if he does, like he has epilepsy, and like she said the other moms there were just like, we don't want him to sleep over, which is like kind of understandable, but it's like kind of sad too, like where your kid's just like, he's not invited to the sleepover anymore because he has seizures. Then there was this like class trip in like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and like the 6th grade and 7th grade trips, I remember you're supposed to like stay the night for them or whatever. There was like a camping trip for one, and then there was like some other trip where you spend the night, and like you all like get assigned like rooms with like your classmates and stuff, and I like refused to go on those trips because I was just like, I don't want to share a room, I don't want like another classmate to see me have a seizure. Like I literally was always just like avoiding like any social situation possible. Especially when it would get like dark out and like nighttime, like I hated it. Like I just wanted to be home, like safe in my bed, because like I knew like if I was out and I like fell having a seizure, like it would just be like horrible. So like I don't know, I just like avoided like all such social situations. Like, I had a neurologist, like a few, and my first neurologist literally like thought they were night terrors, which, oh my god, wait, I googled some of this stuff because I wanted to like read it to you, so hold on. But my first neurologist, I was young though, she was saying like, oh, these are just night terrors, which I Google searched it. Let me read it to you, because this is not what it was at all, but like this is what she thought it was. I typed in night terrors, but it's the sleep terrors, which is the same thing, I guess. Our episodes of screaming, intense fear, flailing while still asleep. Also known as night terrors, sleep terrors are also paired with sleepwalking. So I guess that, I don't know why she said that, because I was not sleepwalking. It only happened one time. I literally like got up, like I knew I was gonna have a seizure. I got up and just started running out of my bed, because I don't know, like I just like wanted to like get out of my body. Like I hated having a seizure, because like for me, like people, like I don't know, I've heard people say like you don't remember a seizure, you don't know that you have a seizure, but like for me, like before I would always like know I was going to have the seizure, and I had like a warning period because like I could like feel it like coming on, and then I would just like have it. So one time I like got out of bed and like ran, and I was like screaming. My parents probably were so like freaked out, And then I just remember like falling in the middle of the hall and like hitting my head and like having like this horrible seizure in the hall. But I guess like those feelings like before you have a seizure, they're called auras. I actually screenshotted that too. And it basically says an aura is often called a warning. Is a sensation which some people get just before they have a seizure. An aura is actually a simple partial seizure, and it can happen on its own without progressing into an actual seizure. I can't talk. Most people we spoke with had auras. So yeah, I don't know, I had them. I had auras, and it was really scary because I still actually get them to this day. I don't have seizures anymore. I kind of like grew out of them, but let me like get to that part of the story. But like even to this day, like I still have auras, and I still like will literally just be like walking down the street and I will feel like I'm gonna have a seizure. It's not like as intense as it used to be when I was a kid, but it's still like really scary. Like my heart will just start racing and like I'll just be like freaking out, and I'm just gonna like, I'm always just like, oh my god, like is there someone I know close? Like I always like want to have my phone on me where I can like call somebody. Like I don't know, it still like does like scare me and like freak me out to this day, which is crazy. But yeah, anyways, let me get back to the story. See, like I'm so bad at this. Like this is gonna be so unorganized. I literally wrote down like everything in order, and then I sat down and filmed it, and it's not in order. So I'm sorry if this video like sucks. But anyways, so I went to my doctor, the first one, and she like didn't think, she never thought I was gonna grow out of this. She literally thought I was gonna have this for the rest of my life. I don't know, I don't even think she like put me on medicine. But then I ended up doing sleep studies where like they literally would like put you in a hospital, and they would do everything in their power to like make you have a seizure. They would sleep deprive you, they'd give you a bunch of caffeine, they would flash lights in your eyes, like everything, so you could have a seizure, so they could figure out like what kind of seizures you have, and then like so they can treat it. So that sucked. I'd literally be in the hospital like all fucking like week for like, there'd be week-long sleep studies, and I don't know, it just like sucked because I couldn't, like I'd literally be summertime. My parents would never let me do the sleep studies during school, like because we were doing this like for years and years and years. They always wanted me to do it over the summer because they didn't want me to miss more school. I don't know, like they never found anything. They literally just kept like prescribing me like different medications. I remember I took like Zoloft for a little bit, which is like an antidepressant, which made my seizures worse. Like I literally was having them like during the day and at night and like all the time. So I got off that real quick. And they just like gave me like a lot of different stuff, like a lot of different medications. And the only one that ever worked for me was Tegretol, or it was like also called carbamazepine, I think is like the actual name for it. I don't know. But yeah, that was like the one thing that like actually worked. But it was like freaking me out because like after like middle school, I was in high school, and I still would like get like the auras even on the medication, and they would still do sleep studies and like just like studies on my brain where they'd hook like electrodes up to my brain and like on my chest and everything, and then they would like do the study even though like I was already on medication, and it would show that my brainwaves were still like messed up. So they would like up my dose and up my dose, and I finally got to the point where I was on like the highest dose of medication that I could like be on. And I remember like I was like I still felt like I was gonna have a seizure one day, so I left class, like I just walked out. That's what I always did. I always made sure I had a seat like in the back right by the door so no one would notice. I just like sneak out. I went down to the nurse's office and like lay down, and she was like asking me like what I felt like, and I just remember like being on like the highest dose of that medication. Like I was just like, I feel like some days I just like go to school and it's just like a dream, like everything's just like foggy, and it was just like hard to like, I don't know, like make friends and like be social, and like I don't know. I mean, I did have like some friends in high school and college, or high school and like middle school, but I don't know, it was like hard to like function sometimes, or even like I don't know, it's hard to like do school because like everything was like so foggy. Also like while I was on the medicine, like from like 8th grade to like junior year, I think I didn't have like one seizure. So like junior year, I think, or maybe senior year, or no, it was junior year because I couldn't drive. Like I was 16 and I had seizures still, so, or I was on seizure medication, and they were weaning me off. And while they were doing that, when I was 17, I wasn't allowed to drive unless I was a year seizure free off medicine. So I think it was like junior year. I like the medicine was just like really like hard on like my body. I don't remember like what it was, but like I think it was like my white blood cell count or something was like really low when I was taking it. I don't really know what that means, but my doctor was just like, yeah, it's like not healthy, like we should try to like take him off it like a little bit, like lower the dosage. And then like my scan still came back, like the guy who like did my brain scan one time, he said it was abnormal, because my mom would always like try to like ask him and be like, hey, like does it look good, can you like tell me anything, even though they weren't supposed to say anything, and like the doctor would have to like look at it and tell you. But they said that like my brain was like abnormal still when I don't know, I had like my last like EKG or EEG, I don't remember what it's called, something like that. And then I went to my doctor and she was like, yeah, we could just keep weaning him off. And I was like freaked out, I was so scared. I was like, no, like I want to stay on this, because like the guy said it was bad, but she said it was fine. So they started like weaning me off, and like thankfully I have not had a seizure in I don't even know how long, like years, since at least like middle school. So I'm like super thankful for that. And I don't know, still to this day, I think I said it before in the video, but still to this day I still like get the auras. I still feel like I'm going to have seizures sometimes, even though like it doesn't turn into an actual seizure. I still like get that feeling in my leg where like it literally just like goes numb and it's heavy and it hurts, and then like it like doesn't travel up my body though. It doesn't like progress into like an actual seizure, but I still get like that feeling to this day, and like it gives me like the worst anxiety. Like I will be in an airport and I'll just like have that feeling, and I'm just like, what do I do? Like I'm literally about to get on a plane and I don't know anybody here, and I'm literally like, what if I fall on the floor? What if something happens? And it's like the scariest thing. But I don't know, thankfully I'm good. It still like sucks though. It still gives me the worst anxiety. My neurologist, I remember they told my parents that I had a 33% chance of like never having a seizure again, and like thank God, I mean I haven't had one, which is like insane. I just hope this helped, if anyone cares. That's my story about my battle with seizures, and if you guys have any questions or anything, you can like follow my social medias, links will be down there. You can DM me on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. You can leave them in the comments below if you like have any questions. I'll try to answer them. And I don't know, maybe if I get enough questions in the comments, I could just make a part 2 like explaining more stuff, but I feel like I went over like everything, maybe. But yeah, I don't know, it feels kind of good to like get that off my chest. I feel like it's like something weird that also like I'll tell people and they're like really freaked out by it, and like they don't know what to say, which like I feel like no one knows what to say when you just tell them like, yeah, I used to have really bad seizures. But I don't know, I just think it's like cool, maybe I can like raise awareness on my channel and do something good for once. Because I'm always just fucking embarrassing myself, and yeah, I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe I'll make more traumatic experiences I've had from my fucking childhood. If you are interested, just let me know in the comments below, and if you like this, just let me know. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just gonna go, because I don't know how to end this, so I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.